Hi everyone, and welcome to the Women of Sweet Swine County, where we share small town stories with big town attitude. And joining me again today is my co-host Paris. Paris, what are you doing? You were like talking while I was trying to do the introduction. What's going on?
I have just things going on because I know you don't understand. If you were well-traveled like myself, you would understand. But anyway, hey, have you been on SweetSwineScoop.com?
Are you kidding me? Someone had to be here prepping for the show.
Oh, what?
We
have show preps?
Yeah, we do.
Oh.
And you or Nicole are never there.
Well, anyway.
Yes, anyway.
There's a video on SweetSwineScoop.com of the parade that we were in last week. You remember the parade that we were in last week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
there's information, photos, video. I mean, it's awesome.
Yep. And there was a parade last week right here in Sweet Swine County to kick off the mayor's race.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Ronnie P. Silage, Earl Silo. They're duking it out for the mayor crown.
Paris, I do need to talk to you about something. I was a little bit hurt because as I was sitting in the beautiful convertible with you.
You fell out?
No.
You said you were hurt.
You would have never noticed anyway. Anyway, you know, I could hear my fans going, Prairie in, you know, and I wanted to give them a little wave and show them that I appreciated their support. And here's you, like getting in front of me, and I couldn't even see anybody or the parade.
Hey, were we in the same parade?
We were in the same parade.
I just don't remember.
Don't you remember being in the car?
No, I never.
Just like trying to cover me up and.
Oh, we were in the car and we were waving. I did not hear anybody say,
"Oh, me the whole time."
Have you been getting enough sleep? I think you're hearing things, voices in your head.
I am not.
No, I never heard anyone say Prairie Ann. I know they're like, "Oh, Paris, you're so beautiful. Please wave over here." So I did, and they're my fans.
And you know, it was a wonderful parade.
It was. It was a beautiful day.
But Paris, you know me. I don't like to gossip. But did you know that Betty Thompson would not ride with Clem on the float? Did you hear the scuttlebutt about that?
No.
No, she refused to be in the same car.
Was there a fight? Did we miss something?
Then they had to put Mrs. Swanson in the car, and then Mrs. Swanson's knee was bad that day, so she couldn't get up on the back of the beautiful convertible, and she had to sit in the front, and then you couldn't see her. So you know what? I'm wondering if Betty didn't do that on purpose. What do you think?
Probably.
Yeah.
Isn't there always been something between Betty and Clem? I don't know if it's friction or love or
chemistry. Friction or chemistry. Sometimes it's, I don't know. But then to add insult to injury.
Were we in the same parade?
I don't know.
How did you figure out this?
But evidently our perceptions are totally different. Because then that Lola leftover and Charles Cornrolt, they were getting all snarky about the Giddy Up's art car. Can you believe it? And they're supposed to be college educated and diverse and all culturified. But you know what?
It is a bit gaudy.
You think how could you go to 4 years of college and not see an art car? I mean, they acted like they didn't even know what it was.
Was it a real college?
But you know, this is Sweet Swine, I guess. Whatever. Well, you know, I'm just trying to bring a little culture to the county, and
the truck is a bit
snarky remark,
gaudy
on television,
and a little flashy for Sweet Swine.
Yeah, it is for Sweet Swine, but you know, out in the real world, they love it. They love it.
Okay, well, anyway, it was a beautiful day.
It was a beautiful day.
Tons of my people were out there. My adoring fans were there.
And my people, but you didn't.
Yeah, your 5 relatives.
See me, but whatever.
I think everyone had a good time, though. I had a good time. You had a good time.
I think so too.
We got to wear our fancy. I got to wear my fancy dress. I have no idea what you were wearing.
Fringe. I had my fringe on, my black fringe.
That subject is closed. Anyway, would you like to meet our guest?
I would love to meet our guest.
You will love her.
Good.
You will love her. And
let's get to it.
I had to write it down because I am so excited about this.
Okay.
And she's actually from far away.
Good.
So help me, ladies and gentlemen.
Way outside of Sweet Swine County where there is stuff to do.
From the county of Kingsbury in the town of Smet, South Dakota.
Ooh, yay.
Whole nother state. Please help me welcome Ann Lesh. So, Prairie Ann. Ann.
Hi, Ann. We're so glad you're here.
She came all the way from South Dakota, to Smet, South Dakota,
wow,
to be our guest. And Ann, where exactly in Smet are you from? And I say where because it's a place.
I am from the Ingalls Homestead in Smet, and thank you very much for having me, ladies. I appreciate being here very much. And the Ingalls Homestead is actually just outside of Smet in the country. Is the quarter section of land that Charles Ingalls, who's Laura Ingalls Wilder's father, earned through the Homestead Act. And so people can come and visit it today and see the land that the family lived on and where Laura lived when she was a teenager.
How cool is that?
That is very cool. Ann, how long have you owned
the Ingalls Homestead?
The Ingalls Homestead, yes.
Well, we're a family-run business, and we've run it since 1997.
Oh,
so
wow.
for quite a while now.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
So the buildings, are they original, or are they? Did you kind of remodel or just redo them, or?
You know, at the Ingalls Homestead, the only thing that's original to the family is the land itself. It is the quarter section of land, like I said. And then there's a reconstruction of the home and the barn that they would have left there. And we have other exhibits too. We have a reconstructed dugout and then different buildings that we house activities in and do covered wagon rides, and we do school sessions. So there's a lot of different things out on the Ingalls Homestead, and it's quite a neat place to visit. It also really complements the other things that are offered in Smet that have to do with Laura Ingalls Wilder.
I want a covered wagon ride, actually.
You get to drive?
I know. Here I am, you know, couture and well traveled, but nothing beats a covered wagon ride.
Exactly.
God, that is awesome, though.
You get to even drive the covered wagon ride when you're
I'm in.
at the Ingalls Homestead.
I am so in.
You do? Yep.
We have my photographer.
Teams of horses and teams of mules, and so all of the kids and any adults who visit get to do that. And it actually takes you to a one-room schoolhouse, and we do a live school session and talk about what school would have been like in the 1880s and what it was like to go to school then.
Are you open every day or just during the summer? What are your hours?
Summer, since most of what we do is outside. We're open May through October, and then in the wintertime we're closed completely.
Can you imagine, though? I mean, those South Dakota winters.
Yeah, they're pretty brutal. Yeah, like Minnesota winters, they're brutal.
A lot of times we'll even put pictures up on Facebook of what it looks like in the wintertime, and people love that because, you know,
with the blizzards going across the prairie. Yes,
it is
just like Pa Ingalls used to see. Oh, that is.
In the long winter, the second winter that the family lived in Smet, in one of the books almost exclusively was just about the winter time. And so people do, and you've read the books, it's interesting to see what it has, what it is like in the wintertime there. So, but it's beautiful in the summertime too.
Have you read the books?
I have read one of the books.
I have read the series.
You have read the whole series?
Guess who brought the series with her?
Oh, yay! We get to see them. Well, now's my chance to read them.
Everybody. So we give one to everybody in the studio. They're kind of heavy.
Yay!
They come in this nice.
How generous are you, Ann?
How cool is this?
There's 9 books.
Look at everybody in the studio audience is going to get a series of books.
And in the books, Laura's family, you guys probably know.
Now, do they come in that little wooden?
You can get them in the crate, yes.
Oh,
at
awesome.
the Ingalls Homestead, yeah.
That is a Prairie Ann bookshelf, right?
It is a Prairie Ann bookshelf. I love it.
Now, if you've read the books, you know Laura lived all over the place. She lived in Wisconsin, and she lived in Minnesota, of course. Yes. And she also spent time in Kansas, and they lived in Iowa for a little while, too.
Wow.
Yeah, very shortly. But the last 5 books of the series are all about the Smet area. She moved there when she was 12 with her family, and she lived there until she was the first 4 years of her marriage, till she was about 22. And then she and her husband ended up living in Missouri the rest of their lives.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah. They stayed in the Midwest. They went down south where it's a little bit warmer.
Exactly.
The winters are nicer down there.
Yeah. So you have all these outdoor activities, but you also do some crafts because I saw them.
We do, yeah.
Yes, that's what I was going to ask about.
Everybody too. We make the wagon ride's always the highlight, of course. Then we do different activities when we're at the homestead. The long winter that I spoke about, we make hay twists and wheat grinding, and those 2 activities come from the long winter. But then we also make corn cob dolls for everybody. And this activity comes from, if you'd like to look, you can too, comes from
she's kind of selfish.
the book, The Little House in the Big Woods. And when Laura was a little girl, she had a rag doll named Charlotte. But before she had a rag doll, her mom, she used to give her handkerchiefs, and she'd wrap up corn cobs. And of course,
you have a little doll.
And you have a little doll.
Can you
it's
imagine
very simple.
This being your doll, though? I mean, look at what you get today. It's like baby-like.
Exactly.
And this was, you said 1880s?
Well, you had to use your imagination.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what we like to do with kids, is help them use their imagination. I always like to ask them, where do you get your toys from now?
Yeah.
And they say, the store.
The store.
Or
Amazon.
Exactly.
And so then it's, you made toys out of things you had. One of the other things we do, though, is we make jump ropes. And this isn't from the books. It's just kind of fun. But we have a rope maker, and we use twine.
So you make your own ropes right on site. So they make the rope, too, then, as they're there.
Yeah, if you want to take a rope with you, get to.
Yeah, it is pretty.
And we have all different colors, so you can.
So do you have jump roping contests then while you're there?
Impromptu.
Impromptu, yeah. You gotta try them out, right? See if they work.
Yep, it is always kind of neat. So it's a neat activity. The other things kids get to do when they visit is they get to wash clothes.
Oh,
that's always fun. The ringer,
on one of those or the board.
Or the board. You do it on the board in the wash tub.
You wash them on the board, and then you wring them through the ringer dryer. And then
so do you use the lye soap?
We do, yeah. We actually make lye soap.
You make lye soap, awesome.
We make it. We always host a Girl Scout Day every other year, and one of the demonstrations we do from them is lye soap. And I always say there's two things I don't like to do at the homestead. One is clean the outhouses. We do have a couple outhouses. The other one is render the lard for the lye soap.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's kind of stinky, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's very stinky.
I wouldn't know, obviously.
But it's a neat process to do.
Yeah.
So do you have to, can you just show up at the homestead, or do you have to call ahead of time?
No, all summer long we're open 7 days a week, 9 in the morning till 7 at night. And you can come, no reservations needed for anything like that. You just show up.
Just show up and have
at the
fun.
homestead, if you want to come for more than a day or come back in the same season, your admission is always good for the entire summer. We've always had it that way, so it's nice and handy, especially if you say you're a grandparent and you live near and you want to bring grandkids, different grandkids throughout the summer or something like that. We have that. A lot of
so I know you mentioned the house, the barn, and the school, but in order to have all the dugout, but in order to have all these activities going on, there must be more buildings on the homestead than just
more people.
And more people. You can't do it all yourself.
Not just you.
We have a thankfully, we have a pretty big staff in the summertime. Every day, maybe there's 10 to 12 people there doing the different activities and stuff. And there's different buildings. And when you arrive, you come into the visitor center in the gift shop area, and then what you do is we get you a map and answer any questions you have, and you really get to go at your own pace. Through
so you can just kind of wander and make a jump rope or a doll whenever you want to.
You can.
Now, do you have a gift shop
that's
full of all these good things that you can purchase?
Of course we do. And we do online as well on our website. So even though we're not open in the wintertime, we always would, do orders. These are very popular at Christmas
time. Yeah.
It's a nice gift for Laura Ingalls Wilder fans. But yeah,
young and old.
But yep, there's a gift shop there. And then of course, when you come to Smet, like I mentioned before, you can also go to the Laura Ingalls Wilder Memorial Society, and they offer a tour through 2 homes the family lived in.
And that's in the town of
In the town of Smet, yeah.
Okay.
And then they have the first school in Smet, and that's more formal. It's a guided tour through those buildings, and so it complements what we do out at the Ingalls Homestead very nicely. So you have more of a museum kind of experience and more of a hands-on activity
more of a
kind of
city and more of a
country version of it. And so do you have a pageant then too?
Smet has a Laura Ingalls Wilder pageant, and it's usually the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th weekend in July every year. It's happened for over 40 years now, a long time. And we always feature the story of one of the books about Smet, and we rotate through those different stories. So it might be By the Shores of Silver Lake or The Long Winter. It just varies a little from year to year.
Okay, so each year it's a different pageant.
Each year it's a different pageant.
That would be fun.
And it draws
That's smart, because it keeps them coming back every year.
It does, yes, it does.
So you have all these people. Do you have a restaurant on site, or do they go into Smet, or both, I suppose?
Yeah, we don't have a restaurant on site, but we do have picnic tables, and you're always welcome to bring snacks or a picnic lunch with you at the Ingalls Homestead. But there's restaurants in town. There's a few local places, and then there's a Subway and a Dairy Queen. There's also motels and bed and breakfast. So for our town is only 1,100 people, but for the size of town we have, it's pretty easy to stay packed. There is a lot going on. Yeah.
Well, I think the big question for me, and probably for the audience, and maybe for Prairie Ann, is why are you doing this? I mean, are you some long-lost relative or just a really big fan?
You know,
why?
I mentioned that we're a family business.
Right.
And my parents purchased the homestead in 1997. I was 17 at that time, so yeah, it was kind of a change. And we weren't from South Dakota. We lived in Iowa, and it's been an interesting family project. And we're fans of the books and of Laura Ingalls Wilder, but more we really wanted. I know my dad, at least, when he talks about it, says he wanted to have a business that we could run together as a family that had to do with history and agriculture. He always farmed, and you know, we come from a long line of farmers, and he ran a grain elevator for a while and stuff. But really, to be a family running a business, it's my mom and my dad, and then my husband helps a lot, and I have 3 younger brothers, and they've all helped throughout the years as well. And so it's been an interesting experiment, and it's kind of crazy to think how many years have gone by now.
It's almost 20.
It is almost 20.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Wow.
So it's been a lot of fun, though, and it is something where it takes a lot of work to do it.
I can't imagine.
But it's something where we get to have fun and work together and really solve problems. But I think when we think about how people should enjoy the homestead and what we want them to take away, since we're family run, we really think about presenting it to families. So, you know, every family that comes, we try to make it that they get to, you know, do all of these activities, and the kids really, we get to know the names of the kids and the different groups who visit and stuff, and really interact with them as people, but also, you know, as their families and stuff. Right. It's cool, yeah, and it's a great family place. I mean, you can bring kids, and like I said, your grandparents, you can bring your grandkids.
Wow.
It's really, it's an excellent.
Every age.
One of the funnest things at the homestead is when grandparents come and they get to tell their grandkids about the stories of when they were growing up and some of the tools they used, and if they worked with horses, you know, so if they have that kind of farming family heritage, you know, that it ties into their past, they get to share that with the grandkids.
That brings out a lot of memories for them.
It does. It does.
So everybody out there in the audience, don't forget to like them on Facebook.
Yeah. Or check
Ingalls
out their
Homestead. Yeah, check out their website too.
Yep. A lot of good information there, and the town has a website.
And they'll keep you
as well.
updated, right? If you like you on
Always.
Facebook, then you get all the new and
we put
things
up there
that are
when
going
we've got
on.
good
and
events.
I mean,
We
there's a
really
drive.
do try to make it a lot of fun for kids. There's nothing on the homestead that kids can't touch and feel. So we make it
That's
as
awesome.
interactive as
So
we
you
can.
can't really break anything.
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect for you.
Exactly.
We don't worry about it if you do.
But you know, I'm getting the wrap-up sign from Lewis, so I guess we gotta go. Sorry, Ann.
Thanks for having me. It's
Yeah,
fun.
thanks for coming.
I appreciate it.
And
Very
hopefully we'll come and
interesting.
see you next summer.
Please do. Please
And
do.
remember, everybody, we share small town stories with big town attitude. For we are the women of Sweet Swine County. Bye-bye for now.